If you want all the latest news of NBA 2K and also NBA in general, you should follow me on my Twitter account at PackHoopsYT. Not only that, I do giveaways all the time when it comes to VC, games, and also even consoles. So check it out, follow me, and see you there. So I won't be able to make this video extremely long or super detailed or have amazing editing because tomorrow is actually the next roster update, and that's obviously going to have like way more priority than any video I make for reasons, right? But today will be just kind of like a small discussion video talking about ratings in the first place and why they're extremely flawed, because they are. If you've noticed, right, if you've been paying attention, whenever NBA players get their ratings, they're always upset.
You're on 90.
Oh my God. I don't know how we keep going backwards. I scored 50 in the playoffs twice, 4 50-point game, tied Larry Bird record, 27 a night.
I guess we're buried abandoned.
I see.
In fact, I literally don't ever think I've seen a player get his 2K rating and be like, oh man, that's kind of high. Like never. They're always like, only that? They get upset. Every player thinks they should be like in the 90 overall club, right? And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. I like to call it the Jeremy Grant effect, right? Jeremy Grant on the Nuggets, right, was in the high 70 overall club. But Jeremy Grant, remember, he was saying, he was like, listen, I need to be more involved in the offense. He went to the Pistons basically for that exact reason and immediately was allowed to become the primary scorer and immediately got into the mid 80 overall club, putting up almost 25 a game, right? It was something crazy like that last season. Putting up like 21 and 22 a game, consistently getting buckets every single game, right? Understand, the difference between high 70 overall and mid 80 overall club is the difference between being a role player and being an all-star. It's a massive change, right? This isn't like small or anything. And if you think about it, half the players in the NBA, if they were to be put in a very bad team and they were given the chance to ISO on almost every possession and be the primary scorer for a team, I think most players in the NBA could average 20 points per game. The difference though between a good player, right, that could do that, and a great player is that a great player can not only do it consistently and efficiently, 20 points per game, but they can usually do it on a really good team as well, right? They're that good, right? That's the difference. That's why, yeah, players get upset when their ratings are low because they know they have it in them to be in that mid 80 overall club to early 90 overall club. It's just that they're a role player. This is a great example. Paul George is in 90 overall club because he gets 20 points per game plus, and he does it every single night efficiently. Like, yeah, there's a lot of players that can have a 25.8 rebound night. Paul George can do it every single night and efficiently. That's the difference, right? So how do you fix this problem? Well, if you think stats shouldn't be the primary use for a rating, then how do you rate someone? Right? It should never have been about stats in the first place. Ratings should only be about skill. A great example is primary defenders, right? Sure, this player doesn't get 15 points per game, or he doesn't have a great assist total. Maybe he doesn't get a lot of steals or blocks either, but the player makes his assignment on defense miss a lot. So shouldn't this player have a high rating then? People underrate defense way too much in real basketball and in 2K. If you're able to make the person you're guarding miss 20 points a game, right? That is just as impressive as scoring 20 points per game, because at the end of the day, they both matter evenly. A great example is Draymond Green, the perfect example, right? What Draymond Green does on a basketball court is not represented by the numbers. He only gets 1 steal and a block every single game, right? And yet he's clearly the best defender in the NBA by opponent field goal percentage, his switchability, and yet he's only an 80 overall in NBA 2K22 as the best defender in basketball. On the contrary, Trey Young may just be the worst defender in basketball. However, he is one of the most elite superstar scorers in the league, and he's an 89 overall because of that, and he deserves that, right? But see how that doesn't make any sense? How can someone be one of the best offensive scorers and be an 89 overall with no defense? And Draymond Green, who is literally the best defender in basketball, and he's only an 80 overall. Do you see the major problem here? If Draymond Green had the second highest rating on the Warriors, I probably wouldn't complain because he probably deserves it. My last example, I think is my personal favorite example, Trent Jr., right? So Gary Trent Jr. is averaging 16 points per game. Those are decent numbers, about like an early 80 overall club numbers for sure, right? But he also has the best perimeter defense in the entire NBA, and not just statistically, because he's averaging 2.5 steals a game, which is leading the league, but he also has the highest deflection rate. He has the most loose ball success. He has one of the best switchabilities in the perimeter in the NBA. His opponent field goal percentage is #1 in the entire NBA. He is low-key a superstar on defense. And he's only a 79 overall. In fact, we don't talk about Gary Trent Jr. like we talk about other players, like for example, Julius Randle. We don't talk about Gary Trent Jr. in that same kind of light. Think about this. Gary Trent Jr. is a 79 overall, and Evan Fournier is an 80 overall. That should tell you everything you need to know about the rating process and why it's very flawed, right? Now, what is my thesis statement? What am I trying to tell you here? Is that NBA 2K ratings should not be based on statistics alone, but by skill level as well. That's what it should be based off of, right? It's true. Now, would that make a lot more 80 overall and rating inflations happen? 100% it would. But the NBA is full of amazing players. That's always how it's been, right? So it wouldn't be surprising if there's so many 80 overall club players. Man, I love talking basketball, guys. I miss it. I cannot believe I've been making park videos for the past 3 months. That shit was killing my soul, bro. Like, 2K can be fun sometimes, but I'd much rather just talk about basketball and ratings and stuff like that. Now, if you enjoy me talking about basketball, ratings, players, all that stuff, join the pack and subscribe. I haven't asked it all video, but I have to ask it every video. It's literally like the most important thing is for you to subscribe and like the video. It helps the video out. It helps the channel grow. It is essential. So please, if you enjoy it, please like up. Now, my closing thoughts are this. We can never get true 2K ratings of a player. I think we'll never be able to really get a real rating, right? Because we can never see their true potential because of the role that they've been given by their specific NBA team. We're never going to be able to see exactly how good of a player they are. All we can do is get as close as possible and give them a number and say, that's more or less what we're thinking, right? That's all. I like making this video. Hope you enjoyed it too, about all this stuff about basketball and stuff like that. If you like the channel, please give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want all the latest news of NBA 2K and also NBA in general, you should follow me on my Twitter account at PackHoopsYT. Not only that, I do giveaways all the time when it comes to VC, games, and also even consoles. So check it out, follow me, and see you there.